Okay, excellent question. Excellent. Thank you so much. Sorry for the audio trouble. Okay, so if you're interested in studying a course and your parents aren't interested in you studying that course, how do you go about it? Well, how do you go about convincing anyone about anything? First thing you have to do is your research. You have to be knowledgeable of that subject, and then you present your case. So you find out what about that course is important, what it takes to do that course, and then you take that information, and if that's what you want to do, then you present a plan and an idea. You don't just say, I want to do something. So if you have a plan and you can convince someone why you want to do it, that begins with understanding what you want to do and why it's important to you. So the first thing is to do your research. Then you make a plan that makes sense to you, and then you present that plan, and you can argue for that plan.
Wow, 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 wow. It's often said that each thought that is welcomed and processed amplifies the dreamer. Thank you so much, Ms. Emilia, for that wonderful session. It's unique, unique, unique. We're going to the panels now. I would like to take two questions from the students. I need one from me and I need one from you.
My name is Geneva from Consultative Vienna, So my question is this: if a girl child wants to study a particular course and her parents are someone who wants to what should she do?
Dr. Rastafari, Olashumo, Shomora, Ismi Adekule, Nancy London. Is Nancy online?
What's the question again?
To just listen to our questions. She asked the question now. And Dr. Rastafari, I want you to answer this question as well as Shubhomi as well. Please come around to just listen to our questions. Just while we discuss. Okay, so okay. Dr. Rastafari, over to you.
Yes, please repeat the question.
Repeat the question.
If a girl child wants to study a particular course in university and her parent doesn't have experience, what do she do?
Okay, was that clear? Can someone repeat that so I can hear it clearly? I'm not hearing it very clearly.
A girl child wants to study a course and her parents said no. What more does she have?
Okay, can one of the speakers repeat that so I can hear, please? If you guys hear the question, I'm sorry, I just can't hear it well.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, so the question was, if a girl child wants to study a course in maybe university, maybe she wants to be a lawyer or a doctor, and her parents do not want her to study that course, how does she go about it? Convincing them what is not in line with your strength as a person. So I'll give a practical example. I have a cousin who wanted to study law. She went, but when she went to uni, she had to go on an internship for during one of her summer breaks in a law firm. And after that internship, she came back and said she didn't want to study law anymore because she didn't understand what it took for her to become a lawyer. And because of her personality and things she's passionate about, she decided to switch to fashion designing. So that's why research is really good. And, I like what you said about getting someone in that profession that can, guide you. And you can even go as much as, depending on what class you are, like, especially if you're in senior secondary, you can go as far as even volunteering to work on certain projects, just to understand what it takes to, to be that person. And that way you see the daily lives of someone in that profession, and you're able to, tell yourself, okay, is this something I want to do? Is this the life I want to live? Is this how hard I want to work? And things like that. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we still have more questions for you. This also want to just ask you a question as well. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Look at context. Context is which is question variance that is the middle class or lower class so the lower class and when the second is going to put that context, you understand it to our context and the reality is for the average
I think you need to change his mic. We can't hear him clearly, please.
Hello? Can you hear me? Yes. I think for how to answer the question, it's critical to look at context. Context with regards to where this question is it's asking parts of the lower or middle class family, African family. So that's this context of the question. But what does family do? Because when parents in this class are looking at what can my child do today is faster than dreaming and all that becomes a disappointment. Is I didn't have access to this project and the child have access to education and making and becoming successful in life. So what I got said finally, the last thing I said about the people that are people now to take food but to shape the way this is the few people are going to and they can be successful in what they do. It becomes more realistic for the parents to interact with, to engage with, and see reason why they can around the children. Because for these kids, their children, their parents are not people that are educated. So I believe the system is doing numbers. Really. So that's the very plan for very slow and born that seems to study that seems to and it is successful in that sphere. We bring that person to explain that it's a successful and when we drop out of the song and they do not be successful, they can relate with that. And then because this is great, but now it goes from this to just to address my friend, back in the days, parents will tell their child, if you are not a doctor, if you are not a lawyer, all these professions that they believe that these are the professions that makes one respected in society. But these are the days where acting now is maybe the child is interested in acting, and the child is telling the parent, hey, mommy, I want to go to acting like that. Who do you think in this family? Who do you think is an actor that made it? But just to put them dots want to. Now, if we start now, parents can see that if act now, it's vain a lot. You don't have to be a doctor, you don't have to be a lawyer. And I also strongly believe that it's a time where a child can also look within and ask herself, hey, so what do I want to become in life? Not what the parents dictate. So I think it's a wonderful debate. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. Second question. Do you see how one of response? Okay. The second question, please.
I can't hear her. I don't know if it's just me.
Yeah, we can't hear her.
It is not already yes, and I don't even know this person. And it forces you to be in a relationship that you know that you're not happy. What do you do in such a situation?
Sorry, please, can you repeat the question? We didn't hear her clearly.
Because it seems we're going to stay on this topic long time with it. Please can you come around and repeat the question? Miss Olapinton, thank God we are online. Miss Sinclair, I see you. Other people we are here too, because we are great women who has passed through the girl child stage. So please, I want you to follow her and please do justice to her question. African Sampling, Miss Kim, I can see you. Thank you for joining us. Over to you.
My question is, a parent wants you to marry a rich guy and you don't even know the person. You say that the girl is not to their feet. And yet, because this person is a rich guy, they are forcing you to be in a relationship you don't want to be. Whether you're not ready yet or whether you don't even like the guy at all. What do you do in such a situation? Because you want to be an asset to yourself.
Also, because I want to be an asset myself. Thank you. So, to our panelists, first of all, let me go to Ms. Olashibomi. Do you want to respond to our question? Dr. Rax, I know you are not in this environment, but you have some question. Mrs. Tinuke Osu, you must have questions for her. Ms. Olashibomi, these are your expert group. So who is going first?
Okay, that was a very fiery question, and I am going to wait my answer. I will yield, let someone else speak first, but that was very fiery, and thank you for that.
Okay, let me build the cat. I don't even know what answer to give, but it's a really deep question, and it's something that one needs to like really be strategic about in handling it. And I think if you're in such a situation, most times when that happens, it might be for financial reasons. When parents, want you to marry a rich man, and you still have, your education ahead of you and all of that. I think one of the ways to tackle that is, you need some form of mediation with your parents. So you might have to, it's not something that I think you'll be able to handle alone. You might have to, engage someone who's like a trusted family member or a trusted friend of your parents that, is aligned with the modern world, that is aligned with your vision, that is aligned with, your goals as a girl. And have them mediate on your behalf. Because I find out that most times when that happens, it's very difficult for the girl child to be able to like win the parents over on her own. So in as much as you might make your case with your parents, you might, express your desires, share your dreams with them. Well, the dreams you're sharing with them are dreams that obviously, even if they want you to achieve those dreams, for financial constraints, they might not be able to provide you with a platform because they're unable to maybe pay your school fees. They're unable to like provide food and all of that. So it's important to get someone. I think that's a critical approach in tackling this issue, getting someone who's trusted and respected to mediate on your behalf on the matter.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mrs. Tinuke, over to you for response, please.
All right, thank you, Tayo. Good afternoon from this side of the world to all our fellow panelists. And hello, children. Nice to be with you once again. I think I'm fully aligned with what Shubomi just said. I think you need to look within the family for that uncle, for that auntie who is who can listen to you and who probably will understand your plight. And I think also teachers, probably teachers can also have a role to play here. While the conversation was ongoing, I actually noted in my writing part that Tayo, we have a project that we may need to take up, to solve a big problem. We were also in a school yesterday, and then the question some of the girls asked, a girl said, I have issues. There's nobody to talk to at home. My parents don't have time. So I end up talking to my bad friends. How do I deal with this? So I think over and over again, There have been questions around parents not having time, parents not understanding. So who do I turn to? Who do I talk to? I'm looking at opportunities to probably creating a speaker platform across schools, because I guess there are also a lot of issues children are dealing with, students are dealing with, and there's just nobody to talk to. Creating a speaker platform where we can have a group of counselors. I know schools used to have guidance and counseling. I don't know if that still operates in our schools today. I think this is one of the key functions, of that department or unit within the school. All right. So teachers also have a role to play, when a child is going through trauma at home and then there's nobody to speak to. I think teachers can also mediate and probably invite the parents for a meeting. I think to a large extent, parents still always answer when teachers call. All right. So you can speak to your teacher. All right. This is the challenge I have. If there's nobody in the family, but the first approach is to talk to an immediate family member. If that is not working, you can step in and talk to your teacher, who can also invite your parents for a conversation. All right, thank you. Ty, over to you.
Thank you. I would love Pastor to do justice to this question as well.
Can I just add quickly? I don't know. Can you hear me?
What can I do? Find someone in the family and emphasize, but getting organizations again that are doing pretty good jobs. There's a job going on, work with Georgia, for example. I think there are 5 foundations of law that we could talk to the next single foundation. There is Stella Foundation, there's University of Nigeria, there's one National at this foundation, there's a very small foundation called it's Never Your Fault Foundation. So there are organizations are working in the government to ensure the end fraud managers, or things like that. So as you said, the other story is traditional how to allow of the vision of one for the woman. So your parents to have pastor or imam or this like they usually have more than a little strategy and also take that advantage because they have a SaaS. Because, for example, I know New Zealand is the economic governance, not going to we have to absorb the money and start thinking about the now from Anambra down to Lagos, and we're responsible for everything in 1 hour. And this is where she's getting married in December. The message we want them to get married to. There are many organizations that legit and are making them. There is the government itself. The government has agencies, for example, in this industry, for women affairs. I mean, I'm seeing, for example, women abuse, violence, we're taking advantage of this and it works. So, this is without systems. We're not in part of this systems actually work with wisdom and the work. So, you can take advantage of both the holidays. Wow. Thank you for that wonderful response to those questions. Thank you so much. That's beautiful and that's like a relief already. So move to the final phase of this program as we have Mrs. Tinuka Bosu Okusada to have a presentation now. Mrs. Tinuka, over to you for your presentation. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Tayo. All right, good afternoon once again from Lagos, Nigeria. I sit on the board of DoTheDream Youth Development Initiative, and it's a privilege to be here. I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Thank you, Do.
We can.
Tayo.
Unmute yourself, please.
Can you hear me, Tayo?
You are muted.
I have unmuted. Can you hear?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I sit on the board of DoTheDream Youth Development Initiative. And one of the critical things that attracted me to this role is my passion for education. Because I know education has a role to play, critical role to play in building a society of our dreams. All right. And I think the big vision DoTheDream YDR has is to use both formal and informal education to develop the society and make everyone in society a better person. And we are looking at it from the angle of the youths, all right? We're focusing on the youths. In recent times, I've also tried to link it to what is the Child Rights Act saying, as far as education is concerned and as far as youth development is concerned. It talks about every child has a right, to be what they want to be. Every child has a right to be free. Every child has a right, should not be enslaved. No child should be forced, all right, into slavery or forced into any kind of activity. So every child's dignity should be respected. And then if that is the case, we also want, particularly in the northern part of Nigeria, where you have a large population of out-of-school children, we were trying to change people's mindset that, education is not just about a religious mindset, it's not about a way of life, it's about life orientation. All right, so we shouldn't attribute education to a Western thing. All right, some people have this notion that education is a Westernized way of thinking. No, it is an orientation for life. It helps you to touch on every aspect of your life, to make it better, to make you feel better about yourself, and also be an asset to the society. So part of what Youth Development Initiative is doing is to promote a program called Girls Are Assets. And in doing this, we've also seen that to a large extent, when we say we want to develop the society, girls have a role to play. In recent times, I've had some women work for me, doing one thing or the other for me, and they are both, I'll use two examples, two women that are both separated from their husbands. And the burden of training the children, the burden of caring for the children is on those women. So to a large extent, when there's a division in the marriage, where there's separation, the burden to a large extent of raising those children falls on the woman. If you now have a woman who is not educated, if you now have a woman who is not empowered, that means that we are replicating more problems for the society, because she will not be able to train those children adequately. She will not be able to offer the right instructions, offer the right moral judgment in raising them. That is why it is critical that we are focusing on women. A lot of my friends have accosted me at different times and say, what about the men? If these women, if you train all the women and the men are not trained, it's going to be the same result if they go and marry the wrong person. So part of the enlightenment is also to help them know who to marry, all right? Help them know who can support them in that dream, in that vision they've built for themselves, so that when it's time to make a decision for a life partner, they know what to look out for. They will look out for a man who will respect them. They will look out for a man who will support their dreams. They will look out for a man who will not feel intimidated, by their career aspirations. So that is why there's a whole lot of focus and energy, because if you train a woman, you're indeed training the society, you're training the nation, you're training the world, because at the end of the day, the responsibility, for that child rearing, child development, to a large extent falls on the woman. All right. And so part of what we're also looking at, there are some careers that women are misrepresented or underrepresented to a large extent. We're looking at the energy sector. We're also looking at the maritime sector. We had a program yesterday where we tried to bring up, the interest of girls in the area of maritime career. So we are doing a lot of activities to ensure that women's minds are open to a world of possibility. So you are not limited, by what you want to be. Just dream it. Just think about it. What is that problem you want to solve in the society? And there is somebody out there who is already doing it, who can support you, who can groom you, who can provide the necessary guidance for you. All right. So there is no occupation that is just for male. This one is just for male. Women cannot do it. If you are out there and you have found found something you like to do in engineering. We had to bring a sailor, a lady who drives a ship. We brought her to that school yesterday so that they can see her that, you know what, this is not just about men. Women have to rise up to the occasion. This forum is also to open your mind up to the world of possibilities ahead. Yes, lawyer, I mean, all those professions that we all grew up, our parents like us to do, lawyer, doctor, but there's a whole lot, right in the world today. The world of work has grown to a large extent, and there's a whole lot of opportunities. So open up your mind, go online. Yesterday, I used the illustration, I used Okonjo Iweala, I used late Professor Dora Akinyili, to speak to the student, to look at how these women have broken barriers. I mean, you can even say Dora Akinyili probably had to lay down her life in the course of fighting a cause, all right, to ensure that drugs administration in Nigeria, food administration in Nigeria follow the right standards, all right? So gone are the days where women sit at home and wait for the man to decide, where to go, how to do things. Women are breaking forth and making impact globally, all right? So take your time and study the life of late Professor Dora Akinyili. Look at Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who is the Director General of the World Trade Organization. She is the first female and first African to sit in that position. All right, so here you are. She went to school, Dr. Dora before she went to international school, but she went to St. Anne's School, Molete in Ibadan. I grew up in Ibadan, so I know where St. Anne's is. It's a public school. It is a government school, all right? So it's not only people who have access to, private university, private schools that can make something out of their life. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala went to St. Anne's School, Molete, before she went to international school in Ibadan, went to UI, all right? Now she is in the global space. So what are you dreaming about? What do you want to be? What problem do you want to solve in the society? If they can, you can. I want you to repeat that after me. If they can, I can. I want to hear you. I'm not hearing any response. I don't know if you're hearing me. Taya, is anyone hearing me there?
The feed looks frozen.
Aha. So I guess internet from their end. Wait for that to come around.
Yeah, I think the internet is from their end.
Yes, it is. So that means they've lost. I guess they've lost us totally. Okay, Taya just sent me a message, network. Okay.
You see what happens when your message is too powerful?
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much. All right, just received a message that they have an internet disruption from their end.
So just hang in here.
Yes, we will hang it until.
I'm enjoying this so much. I was about to suggest, how about you carry on and then you repeat when the kids come back? Sometimes you may think you're just addressing kids, but we're here and we're loving this.
Absolutely, yeah, I understand. Yeah, I guess it's a timely message for everyone. As I am, I'm still dreaming, I'm still aspiring. There are still things I want to do. I moved from, I primarily am an HR person, from HR practice to HR consultancy, and now I'm looking at the education space, all right? So how did I develop a passion for education space? I worked with PwC for almost 4 years. So during my stint with PwC, I sit on the recruitment panel for graduate trainees. So when we're bringing in graduate hires, so I sit on that panel, and I observed that for 3 consecutive years, we had people who make it to the finals, either went to a private university or schooled abroad. They had a foreign degree, foreign education. So that got me thinking that, that means the quality of education we have in Nigeria as of today. It's no longer fit, to enter a multinational company, because the kind of skills we're looking for, we're looking for that confidence. We're looking for people who can solve problems, problem solving, analytical thinking. Those were the skills we're looking for. So we typically give them case studies and tell them to analyze, within a controlled room. And then you find out that people who don't have that kind of exposure, they struggle. So that got me thinking that there's something, deficient in our education. And then as time goes on, if you go to a public school, you won't have a place in a multinational company or in a blue chip company. So that is what got me thinking about what can we do, to our education? How can we improve our education space to ensure that everybody has equal access, all right, to the jobs, to the opportunities, and then nobody is discriminated against. So that is what got me into the education space. And then that's why I'm working with Tayo closely on this. I guess we are back somehow. Tayo, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We are coming back now. So let's
Okay. All right. So I don't know where you lost.
We are back online. We are back now.
Yes. Welcome. Where did you miss me? I don't know what I said last. It went off.
Okay. When you said after you spoken about Okonjo-Iweala.
Yes, and I was using the illustration that she went. Okay, so I wanted to drive home the fact that Okonjo-Iweala went to a public school. She went to St. Anne's College, Molete in Ibadan. So I grew up in Ibadan. I know where St. Anne's is. St. Anne's is a public school. It's a government school. If Okonjo-Iweala can rise from there, got admission into a university, did her first degree, then I think she went to the US, for further studies. She got a PhD, and right now she's in the global space. She's the Director General for the World Trade Organization. All right. If Okonjo-Iweala can achieve that feat, all right, if she can go through, mind you, before she went international, went global, she had spent probably almost 2 decades, all right, in the financial services space. I think she was in the World Bank, all right, before she even came back home to Nigeria to be a minister for finance. All right, she had 2 terms. She served. People are struggling to get ministerial appointments. This woman didn't have to struggle to get ministerial appointments. They went to look for her. They went to beg her to be a minister. All right. So diligence, commitment, hard work, and also values. All right. So it's very important as you grow up, as you acquire those skills, as you are carrying those degrees, your value system, sense of what is right, sense of what is wrong. All right, respect, integrity, diligence, those are things we call values that you need to hold dearly. These are the things that has taken this woman, across the world, and she's still representing an authenticity. It is very important that you remain true to yourself till tomorrow. Anywhere Okonjo-Iweala goes to, she is wearing her Nigerian attire. She's not trying to be anybody. She's not trying to emulate or copy anything. She is very true to her origin. She's very true to herself. So always remember, be you. Don't say, my friend is this. I like to be what my friend is. Who are you? What do you want? Where do you want to get to? All right. It is very important that you are comfortable with you. You are comfortable with yourself, because that is what people will see and respect. If they see that you're somebody that can be tossed to and fro, if you bring this, you say yes. If they bring that, you say yes. Then you will lose that dignity and respect you're looking for. But being true to yourself, being true to your values, what those things that you grew up with your parents saying, this is not right, this is wrong. Your auntie and uncle have said, this is right, this is wrong. Those values, you need to hold them dearly to your heart. And I said, if somebody like Okonjo-Iweala she went to a public school like you, and right now she's, a global talent. If you can grow through the ranks and make something impactful out of life, then you can. So don't stop dreaming. Don't think anything is beyond you, because it is only left to the power of your imagination. Whatever you can, that's why we're opening up your mind. This forum is to open up your mind, because we're all limited by the information we have access to. So we are bringing you all this information so that you can imagine things, you can dream big and go for the stars, because if they can, you can. All right, so I want you to repeat that. If they can, I can. Aha. All right. So thank you very much. It's a pleasure speaking with you all. Over to you, Tayo.